In this video, we're going to look at high availability and clustering in the Edge ADC. Organizations which want to ensure uptime really have to deploy a couple of load balancers or ADCs and join them together into a high availability cluster. The Edge ADC has extremely easy clustering methods built into it. And in this video, we're going to show you how easy it is to cluster. So what do we see on the screen? We can see a couple of virtual IPs. One is on 443 and the other is on port 80. We have a flight path rule that is redirecting the port 80 to port 443. So this is the HTTPS flight path rule. And on the primary virtual service, which is 443, we have a certificate placed here with a 200 OK monitor. So here we can see several segments. So the top segment tells us all about the cluster roles. So there are two roles, cluster and manual, and a standalone role, which is used to have a standalone ADC. So in the cluster role, you can see here that we provide high availability in active-passive mode with automatic synchronization of appliances. What that means is that you don't need to configure the second appliance that you join into the cluster. The ADC's clustering systems will automatically replicate all settings with the exception of apps to the secondary. Apps have to be handled manually, and the reason for that is that there are certain IP addresses, etc., that need to be specified manually within the second. Below it, you can see some failover settings, latency settings, and also the messaging feature. So for that, we've given unicast. And so you can actually replicate the ADCs within Azure and AWS using the unicast methodology. Underneath that, you see the cluster management section. So if you're using broadcast, you'll automatically see the second ADC here. So this is going to be our secondary. The system has automatically detected it within the same network segment. If you use unicast, you will have to use the IP address and the machine name to manually add the secondary to this unclaimed devices list. Now, how easy is it to cluster? Well, you click on it to highlight it, and you simply drag it across, and it will ask you for confirmation. The two are now clustered. So if we go to the second ADC, we can see here that this one is on failover standby. And to show you a good point here about automatic synchronization, let's make a change here. So we're going to say word test, and we're going to say update. If we go back to the primary and IP services, we can see the word test has been added on the primary as well. So what that means is that any change that you make on the secondary or the primary, with the exception of app configuration changes, will be reflected on the partner ADC. This makes it very, very easy for administrators. So they don't need to really access a specific ADC. They can do it on any one. Now, in the clustering system, if you want to promote this to be the primary, all you need to do is click on it and then select the up button. And it has now become the primary ADC. And if we go to prove a point, we can go here and we can see that the mode is active and we're on a green online status on the secondary. If we go back to the original primary, we can see that the mode is passive and the status is failover standby. And once you've finished any work of maintenance that you wanted to do on this old primary, you can just simply promote it back up and the modes have switched over. Now, if you had ADCs in different segments and you wanted to cluster them, then you really need to use a GSLB. So you might have an ADC in a data center in London and another ADC in a data center in New York, and you can actually cluster those together using GSLB and provide high availability. And this concludes the section on clustering. Thank you.